Welcome into Box Office Quarterbacks. My name is Jeff. That's my friend Ahmed. Today we're talking about a franchise of movies and a movie that I am done defending after watching Fast X, the 10th installment of the main franchise, the 11th installment overall. Ahmed, I have so much to say, but before we do that, you do have an unveiling for us. It's another edition of Ahmed's Unboxing Corner.
Are you guys ready for this? Boom! It's a popcorn bucket. You guys, I should not be allowed to make money. Jeff, this thing
Hey,
cost $50.
well, Ahmed, you see all the toys behind me now, so
But
I cannot
but
judge.
but part of the reason why I have it still in the box is because I was thinking maybe I'll just return it, but I didn't keep the receipt. So hopefully this thing is valuable. But while we're on the subject of popcorn buckets, I noticed this popcorn bucket was a little bit better than the movie, probably. But
Yes.
the crappier the movie, the better the popcorn bucket.
Let's get into it, Ahmed. The popcorn bucket is pretty sweet. I am not going to lie, but this movie, man, what is there to say? So the 10th installment of this franchise sees Dom Toretto uh, back living in LA, talking about family when his life is turned upside down by Dante, played by Jason Momoa, who, with clever editing, was there the whole time in Fast Five, the best movie in the franchise. But I am so tired of them editing villains into scenes that we've already seen. We saw it with Jason Statham's character. We saw it with Jason Momoa. This movie defies logic even more than driving a Pontiac Fiero into space. It is so ridiculous.
It's
There's no stakes anymore, and that's my initial thoughts. What about you?
Well, of course, these movies aren't like, Oscar winner or anything like that. They're supposed to be entertaining for the sake of entertaining. Um, Yet it is kind of like stretching. It's become lazy writing. And of course, the writing's not supposed to make sense, but it's like there needs to be some sort of reality in it. Like, if you're going to insist that this is taken by real life experiences, maybe quit trying to make it so supernatural or superhuman, if you will. Uh, like, I can't overstress the lazy writing in and of itself. People are being killed, they're coming back to life, and then family. Like, the movie straight up says in one of the quotes, it's like a cult with cars. And it's a cult with cars. People that watch these movies, they come in mixed forms. Jeff, you and I are both educated individuals, and yet this movie is like, okay, I'm watching it, I know it's nonsense, but it's kind of cool at times.
Yeah, I mean, you see these guys blow up so many different cities. This time it's Rome. But the thing that really gets me, and this is what I was alluding to before the episode, Ahmed, is I'm going to make a crazy comparison to Vin Diesel and Tommy Wiseau, the director of The
Oh, no, no,
Room.
no, no,
Oh,
no,
we're doing
no,
this.
no. I think that's a
Tommy
little.
Wiseau and Vin Diesel both have huge egos. They both wrote movies where they were the central characters who could do no wrong, and they were this family oriented patriarch of this story. You have Vin Diesel in here again, where he's like, "Oh my God," John Cena even says, "Your dad, is such a great guy, and he is so tough, and he never does anything wrong." And Tommy Wiseau in The Room as his character Johnny is the exact same way. And it's gotten
My
so
favorite
ridiculous to
customer.
where it has gotten, yeah, you're my favorite customer. I didn't even notice it was you. The dialogue, I would say, in The Room is almost as good as a Fast and the Furious movie at this point.
No,
It
no.
is, this is the level we are on. This is where we're at.
You know what though? I think I'd watch this movie again. No, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. Never mind. I wouldn't watch both movies over and over. Yet I have seen The Room maybe like a handful of times.
I will watch The Room before I watch this movie again.
Fair
Um,
enough.
there's so many things I want to talk about, Ahmed. For one, this movie did exactly what other movies in the past did, which is take the villain from the last movie and put him into the family. In Fast 9, the villain was Jacob, played by John Cena, who played that role like the fucking Terminator. Like he had no emotions. He was trying to murder the group the entire time. In this movie, he does a fucking complete 180 where he is the goofy uncle, making jokes, going on this cross country trip with his nephew. I was like, you mean you got to give me a glimpse of that type of personality in the last movie? You can't just do like turn on a dime that
Yeah.
easily.
We're going to forget 15, 20 years of I hate you. I want to kill you. I don't want to live in your shadow anymore. Your dad's great.
Yeah, and that's one problem. The other problem is that I love Han. I love the character Han from Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and I'm happy that he's alive. But eventually, you got to have stakes in these movies, and this movie ends on a huge cliffhanger where Tyrese and Ludacris, and Han and Natalie Emmanuel's character, who I forgot the name of, crash into a mountain, and they're not going to be dead because everybody comes back. Gal Gadot is back in this movie. It
What the fuck
defies
was that
logic.
about? Yeah.
She
No,
fell
not.
off a plane. She fell off a plane, and here we are.
Well, and you know what? I want to. I guess we're full spoilers now. It's been out for a while. Um, a while is more than 3 days
Yes.
in the entertainment business. Spoilers are free game after a day. But anyway, um, the freaking agent, the main agent, who like a parent who's trying to capture Dom and the team. He works for Mr. Nobody. He the whole time he's like, just this enigmatic character. And then at the very end you find out he's the bad guy. I didn't see it coming, but I hate that it was forced. And sadly, that's the case with this movie. Everywhere it's forced. You're just supposed to accept shit. Like you said, um, we're just supposed to expect John Cena's character Jacob to be just in love with his family all over again. And I was like, oh yeah, forget that you try to kill us. Um, but I wish they would also quit putting so many cooks in the kitchen. I mean, you got Brie Larson in this now. Why? What does she have to do with this movie? And this movie had one job, and it failed at that. The job it had to do was bow out, Fast X, close the series, and then you find out in the post credits there's going to be two more of these fucking movies.
Oh my
I'm
god.
still going to watch the other one because The Rock's in it, but Jesus Christ, like, why?
Yeah, the biggest miracle of this movie is The Rock coming back because him and Vin Diesel did have a falling out. Apparently, the producers of this film brokered the peace deal. But that was probably the best scene in the movie, Ahmed, was The Rock.
Yeah,
I like that post credit scene because even though I knew what was coming, I like that they kept him masked the entire time, and it was very kind of Silence of the Lambsy, where Dante is putting on this huge display for Hobbs to find. But I guess we get into our favorite scenes. That'll
but
be my favorite scene.
but it was perfect in how they kind of say, yeah, Dom is the one that had his father killed, but Hobbs is literally the one who pulled the trigger.
Yeah. But wouldn't
And
you go
so,
after Hobbs first?
I mean, yeah, like, and also, I thought you were underwater. How do you know Hobbs pulled the trigger?
There's a lot of problems. And
But
then
Yeah.
They edit Ellen Richson, which is Ames, the other villain, into footage from Fast and the Furious 5 again. That is the other problem. Like, stop doing that. Just stop it.
Jason Momoa saves the film with his portrayal because he is very psychotic. You don't see too many psychotic villains, but it's still a PG-13 movie.
I did love Jason Momoa in this movie, and he's going to be my favorite character. Probably the only character I actually liked. It's not his acting is not good in this movie, but he plays it so over the top. It's
Right.
almost like he's like trying to be like an anime villain, where
He
he is
is.
just like wearing the most ridiculous shit and like really overacting and kind of poking fun at the franchise, where he's like, oh, all I have to do is get a beer and go to a barbecue, and then I'm family. I was like, I fucking love this guy in this movie.
Yeah,
He is probably the best fast villain we've gotten, at least the most memorable.
definitely the most memorable. But I think in terms of favorite scenes, I can't really say one because I was really looking forward to seeing the scene where they were in Rome, but having been fortunate enough to finally travel and see Rome, I was like, oh no, that's not cool. They can't destroy the Vatican. So it's really hard to pick a favorite scene. But I think I just have to side with you and say that the post was the best scene because we finally see Hobbs. And I guess the scene where he crushed the cell phone, I want to do that because I was really pissed off that now I have to sit through another fast movie.
And
Like I
funny,
like I watched it like when the ending happened, I was like, oh well, that's just lazy writing. What the hell is gonna happen now? Are they dead? Post credit scene, like you son of a bitch, I'm in reluctantly.
yeah, I'm in until the series is over. But the funny thing about Rome is when the bomb does blow up, the first thing Ludacris says is like, "What have we done?" I'm like, "You do this every movie. You've blown up so many different cities. What do you mean? What have you done?" It's just so. It is so tired, and then you get the cliffhanger. Let's talk about the cliffhanger, Ahmed, because that's a scene we got to talk about. As Peyton will tell you, he is not a fan of this movie as well. But
God, you let Peyton kiss you with that mouth?
yeah, he is cussing out Vin Diesel right now. Did not like the character choices. This movie ends. They're in Peru, I think, and there's Dom and his son Brian Jr. Whatever have gone down this dam that's blowing up, almost like a Hot Wheel on a track, and the dam is about to blow up, and then the movie kind of ends there. I like when movies, I think it's ballsy when movies end on a cliffhanger. But the problem that I come back to is that Dom and his son are getting out of this situation.
No doubt. Um, okay, so Michelle Rodriguez said I don't know when she said it, but there was something that was on my Facebook feed where she was talking smack about the Marvel movies. How many more of these movies are they going to make? Problem with her statement is Marvel movies, they put in work, they put in time. Their actors have taken acting classes. Sorry. And Vin Diesel, his only line is I am Groot, so he can't fuck that up.
Yeah.
But in Infinity War, when that movie ended on a cliffhanger, your hope is that it'll work out, but you don't know because they did such a good job of bringing that pathos, bringing that sense of this is the first time something this bad has gotten this way. How can they get past this? Will they be able to? And with Fast X, you're like, yeah, they're gonna be fine. I just gotta wait 2 years to find out the far fetched way and how it happened.
Yeah. And I was listening to a podcast on this movie, The Big Picture by The Ringer, and they were saying it would be ballsy if they killed off Vin Diesel at the start of the 11th movie, but it's not going to happen because of Vin Diesel's ego. You already know it's just not going to happen. Dom Toretto is going to be alive. They're setting up such an obvious spin-off with little Brian here, And the other problem I think that they've created with this movie, which is not exactly their fault, but it's the fate of Brian, played by Paul Walker, who Paul Walker tragically passed away in real life. They beautifully wrapped up his story in Fast 7, but they keep bringing back Jordana Brewster, uh, and they keep mentioning Brian as just being away. I think you just got to
He's
retire.
watching because isn't he supposed to be a father? So he's the one that's babysitting the kid the
Yeah,
entire time.
but why is his wife now in trouble all the time? So that's the problem. I think they need to retire Jordana Brewster's character because at this point, why would Brian not jump in and help his team because he is alive in this universe still? It makes no sense when the stakes of this movie are so high to where he's just going to let his family be in the line of danger. So that is a big, huge problem that they've created by making this series go on as long as it has. If this series would have ended after Fast 7, I don't think we would have any problems.
And the selective reincarnation does not help. Um, Michelle Rodriguez Letty's character comes back, and then every single other character comes back. Han came back. I would not be surprised if John Cena comes back.
Oh, he is coming
Um,
back. He's 100%.
but then they need to like they re- again. Fast X should have been the final goodbye. Fuck, Fast Five could have even been the final goodbye. We would have been happy. They forced Letty's return out of nowhere. They could have been happy in Rio, all of them, but they had to bring it back for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I think Fast 5 and Fast 7 are the only good movies in this series, I would say. Like Fast 1 is like it's good for like the start of a series.
Again, it's interesting. It's exciting because of the action sequence. This is why people go to the movies. But at some point, you have to kind of like let things die. Um, when they made Creed, okay, cool, and you know how much I love Creed 3, but a Creed 4 or another Creed, it's going to be very tough. Like some these franchises, these sequels, and these reboots.
All I know is we're getting two more of these fucking movies. Two more, Ahmed. Let's rank this one though. And I'm gonna go first this time. I'm gonna cut this movie. It is below a bench. I don't recommend it even to a fast super fan. I don't think these movies are worth it anymore. At least in theaters. Like I'm really gonna have to have like a serious come to Jesus moment if I want to see Fast X Part 2 in theaters. So that is where I stand. What about you?
I definitely will bench this movie. It is action packed, so if you're just like looking for a movie to kind of just have in the background while you work, or if you just want to watch a movie just for like the blow up scenes and whatnot, actually, you probably won't. This one isn't as action packed as some of the other movies. It's a little bit. It's more talky, I think, and more backstory, flashbacks. So I think I'm gonna have to bench it. I would only watch the post credit scene again because that's the only thing worth watching. Which makes me sad that it took so long for us to get back The Rock. I'm sorry that him and Vin Diesel were in a dick measuring contest, but we clearly know whose is bigger because they brought him back.
Or Money Talks. Either way,
I'm looking forward to that versus another Black Adam. That's all
here
I'm saying.
is yeah. Here's how you should watch this movie. You can watch the best scenes on YouTube and you read the rest of the plot on Wikipedia and you got everything covered. And then you don't
No,
got to
you don't
sit
even have
through
to. No, 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 no. You don't even have to do that. Just watch the trailer. It told you the entire movie there.
Yes.
Oh, and Gal Gadot comes back, and Charlie's. Everybody's back. Nobody's dead except Jason
Oh my
Momoa's
god.
dad.
And Pete Davidson is here too
Oh
for
yeah,
some
Pete
reason.
Davidson for some fucking reason. They always have to have those little cameos. They had Cardi B in one of them in the last movie.
Oh my god. I hate this
Yeah.
movie. I hate it. I hate this movie, Ahmed. This is I could go on, but I do have to edit this, so I don't want to talk anymore. But anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
AMC, subscribe to our YouTube channel and sponsor us because I love your popcorn buckets and your theaters, but I don't like getting broke over them.
Ahmed did a public service this week by buying the Fast X popcorn bucket. There it is, one more time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he deserves his money back for the popcorn bucket and that movie. So listen, AMC, that's what we want. But this has been another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. That's my friend Ahmed. I'm Jeff. Go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 instead of this movie. Subscribe on our YouTube page, and we will see you guys very, very soon.